So this may be the first time a wheel company is going to tell you to pick a tire first. What's going on? I'm Scott from Koenig, and today I'm going to be telling you about the reasons you may want to select your tire before you actually select a wheel. It's kind of counterintuitive to what a lot of people are going to think, but it is going to help you in the long run, so let's get into it. So the first reason that you may want to select a tire first is because of overall rolling diameter. Now, overall rolling diameter has to do with the height of the tire from the top of the tread to the bottom of the tread. Now, even when your car comes from the factory, that overall rolling diameter will never change as you upgrade wheels. And the reason for that is because that is the geometry and everything that the vehicle stability systems in the car are looking for. How many revolutions per minute, what the circumference is, that is all kind of tuned into the way the vehicle reacts and sees data that's coming in from each corner of your vehicle. So it's really important that this gets maintained, especially for things like your speedometer or ABS sensors or vehicle stability systems or traction control. You kind of get where I'm going with this. There's a good chance that you've seen this done incorrectly before and never really knew why. And if you've ever seen a stretch tire or a short tire, that usually refers to the fact that it just looks wrong, almost like there's tire missing. There's a bigger wheel gap than there really should be, and it feels like there just should be more tire on the wheel. And that's generally when somebody puts a short tire on the car, meaning it's not as tall as it should be, or if they've taken a really wide wheel and stretched the tire, because what will happen is that overall rolling diameter, when you stretch a tire onto the wrong width wheel, will all of a sudden come down, right? If you have a tire that's like this and you start to stretch it out, the height comes down, and then you can end up using the correct size tire for overall rolling diameter, but by putting it on the wrong width wheel, you could inherently change the overall rolling diameter, reducing the height, and that also would be a major problem. So this is why we say, make sure you pick your tire first for overall rolling diameter. So here's another reason why you may want to select the tire first, and that has to do with the overall width. Now, when we come to picking a wheel, we're ultimately going to try to choose something that's probably more aggressive. That's usually the reason that people go to aftermarket wheels, especially if your function is going to be in the race scene or if you're trying to make the car look just that much tougher. Now, when you do that, we still have to maintain that overall rolling diameter. So it's important that we're going to find a tire that when it is in a wider wheel is going to be able to maintain that overall rolling diameter. The way we do that is we actually use the manufacturer's website, the tire manufacturer's website, to make sure that the tire we're going to put on our car is able to run the width wheel that you're going to put on. Every single tire manufacturer will tell you the approved rim width. So if we kind of work backward for a second, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna pick the size tire that's the correct rolling diameter. If we need to go a little bit wider, as long as it has the approved rim width and we know that it will still tire calculate out to the correct overall rolling diameter, now we have a guide for what wheel we should be able to select to put in there without going too wide or too narrow. Putting the wheel and tire that's correct for your vehicle and choosing something, even if you're going wider, that's going to fit within the wheel well, not cause any rubbing, and kind of serve the purpose that you're looking for is super important. So you really need to do that homework there before you go ahead and just hit the buy button. So if you're trying to select a wheel and tire package that's going to put you in the best realm, especially for certain things like having the best handling or making sure that you're getting the proper response and having a good feel for the road, these are all things where you really should consult a wheel and tire professional if you don't have this information kind of at your fingertips. So here's another point that you may want to consider by picking a tire before you actually pick your wheel, and that has everything to do with use case. What environment are you going to be using these tires in? Right? If you're going to be using these through different weather conditions, live in the Northeast, maybe you have multiple seasons, you may want to have an all-season tire. Now, there are various grades of performance level all-season tires, and that is going to be different from manufacturer to manufacturer. So make sure you kind of get some information there. You may have to call the tire manufacturer. You may also have to go see a good wheel and tire professional that can give you this advice. The point here is you want to make sure that you pick a tire compound and a tire tread that's going to be able to kind of work with the use case that you're going to be doing with your vehicle, right? So if you're going to be driving it on the street a lot, if you're going to be doing a lot of commuter miles, you're going to maybe want to have something that maybe isn't as good to wear as fast, is able to take rain and snow and mud and all those good things. Now let's move on to a different type of use case, and that would be maybe a performance use case. Let's say you're using your car on the track. You're only going to use it on the track. You're not going to do anything else with this car. This car is a dedicated track car. It's only going to be seen on pavement. based on what race class you're in, you may want to go ahead and choose something that is very specific for the softest tire, the most aggressive tire, something that's going to give you a really stiff sidewall. So these are all use cases that you should think about. Think about exactly how you're going to use your car, what kind of performance you're looking for, what the response that you're looking for, and what your budget is, right? Put all those things together and you should be able to find a really good tire, not only in your budget, but also that will fit your use. So moving on to the next point, obviously we just spoke about it, and that has to do with budget. When it comes down to budget, tires can range from not expensive to really expensive. So you have to find the right one for you. Now, this is not a one-size-fits-all model. You really do have to find the tire that's gonna work the best for you in your budget. And the good news is there are so many tire options out there. No matter what level you're looking to get, there's usually a tire that will fall in a more budget-oriented way if you don't have all the moolah to go out in there and spend to get the big dollar tire, right? So do your research. This is a good place where you should be thinking about, okay, I know what the size tire I want now is. I kind of know what the width that I need this tire to be able to cover. I know what the compatibility or what kind of tire compounds I'm looking for, what's my use case, and now I'm going to be able to take all of that and kind of use the filters to make sure that it now falls within my budget. Okay, and one of the last reasons you may want to consider your tire before the wheel has to do with ride quality. I will tell you that even as a wheel manufacturer, the ride quality that a tire can present is absolutely incredible. First off, let's think about it like this. The tire is absolutely the cushion that protects the wheel against damage. It's also the cushion of air that you ride on. Any kind of rough bumps and different things like that, the shorter the profile tire you go, the kind of tighter the sidewall, the more you're going to feel the road, the bumps, the bruises, and everything that comes along with it kind of translate up into the vehicles. Some people are gonna pick it right, and they're gonna have a really good experience with their wheel and tire package. And other people are gonna pick them wrong. Primarily, usually that happens when they pick wrong sizes, go too large of a diameter, or pick a setup that's gonna give them kind of really not enough cushion, and it's gonna cause them to really hate the fact that they bought aftermarket wheels and tires, put them on their car. And the other thing about it too is a lot of these cars now are coming with larger wheels than they have ever come with before. I mean, hell, Mazdas have 21-inch wheels on them. And with that, you can only get so large of a profile tire. So, at some point, a lot of these people are going and they're downsizing. They're going from 21s to 19s. They're going from 21s to 18s. And the reason they're doing that is because they're able to get a tire that's gonna give them a really comfortable ride. Consider where you're located. Consider what kind of roads you drive on, and make sure that you're picking a tire that kind of checks all the boxes for you. And if you have any other questions about how to pick a wheel size or a tire size, we've done some videos, and we'll kind of link a few up here that you can find on our YouTube channel, where we kind of give you a lot of information. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Click that subscribe button, because we try to bring you content that is not only informative, but is slightly entertaining. And if you feel slightly is more than slightly, go ahead and throw it down there in the comments below. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll catch you on the next one.